option to start or finish the match. And realistically, as Dina opens with one of those great shots that she threw, just like the two she threw in the 10th frame to lock out Leila, I think that's exactly why Aleta changed her mind. Here, absolutely perfect opening shot for the last match, the championship match of the final tournament of 1986. And Aleta Sill, the only left-hander in the finals, strikes on her first ball. Well, and already you can see the emotion from Aleta. She's been out on tour 6 years, 11 pro titles. That has to say something, and none of them coming this year. So her first 5 years, very, very good bowling. This year, she's finished high, just hasn't gotten to the winner's circle yet.
And 2 years ago, she set a record for yearly earnings well over $80,000.
And part of that being the $25,000 here from Sandstown. And you're going to see a lot of emotion, a lot of competitive drive from Aleta. The same type of thing as you watch this second frame shot. Perfect. Almost leaves the 10, but she's able to knock it out. Dina a little bit more subdued, but certainly just the same type of competitive spirit.
The 10-pin doesn't go, the 6-pin just lays in the channel.
Dina looks like she's maybe lifting the ball a little too soon, not quite clearing the thumb hole well enough, because her ball usually breaks very sharply into the pocket and doesn't leave that type of a weak 10.
Now, even with those earnings that you see right there, Dina Wheeler, if she wins this tournament, she will lead the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour in earnings for this year. It has been such an even year. Nobody has dominated the tour this year.
That's right. The top 4 or 5 bowlers are all within $5,000.
Whoever wins this match will win the earnings title for 1986.
And Dina, what a boost it would be, and what a big first title it could be for her if she were to win. Aleta would go on to just walk into this bowling center and feel all kinds of confidence. Of thing that's been happening all day. She goes a little high. She doesn't have quite the same speed. The ball breaks very sharply, almost leaving the 4-9, and then she trips the 4 into the 9 for a strike there in the 3rd frame.
Aleta Sill with 2 strikes in the first 2 frames, now in the 3rd, a 10-pin advantage.
Another good shot. And again, the ball is breaking so sharply and hitting so well in the pocket, she is almost leaving the 10-pin. Very unusual for a left-handed bowler. Generally, their nemesis is the 7. Aleta's match play record, 14-10, but that has to tell you how well she has bowled overall in this tournament. She led the rest of the bowlers by over 5 pins in average over the 52-game format. Perfect through 4 games, Aleta Sill. And she is charged. She is really pumped up. 2 years ago, in the same position, we saw a very, very emotional Aleta Sill as we watched the ball come in a little light this time and just tear apart the pins.
Aleta Sill, perfect through 4 frames. Dina Wheeler now in the 4th.
Better shot. And she almost gets the pin to come back and knock out the 4. That a much better shot on this right-hand lane. She was able to get through the ball better. The ball broke a little bit too sharply that time and left her the 4 pin. Makes the spare. You know, it's really interesting. Aleta has probably one of the the highest match play records on our tour as far as television. She's lost some very, very high scores, and she's won with some very high scores. She rolled a 288 not too long ago on television to win a title. She won the Queens one year with a 279 game. So these championship matches, she definitely gets pumped up for. Slow again.
Well, the first disastrous split of the championship match belongs to Dina Wheeler in the 5th frame.
And it came at a very, very poor time. This time, again, she's a little slow. I think she lost her footing a little bit at the line. She may have stuck. She may have planted her heel. But this is not what she needed when she's watching an opponent do nothing but strike.
The 4, 6, 7 gives it a good roll, but the 6 stays up. And now Aleta Sill. I think everybody has been saying all year long, where's Aleta Sill? What's happened to Aleta Sill? She's only 13th in money earnings coming into the final tournament here at Samstown. And I think Aleta wants to answer everybody today. This is where Aleta Sill is in the finals in the championship game.
Well, there's so much pressure out here, but the other thing that there is a whole lot of talent.
Perfect through 5.
And she looks as charged as I have seen her in a long time. Absolutely perfect shot here. This time, watch the 7 go out. Maybe a hair late, but she's able to catch it. Aleta making every shot, coming through every shot, not being afraid to go out there and play her game. Little wide.
Oh, almost had the 7-10 split. Leaves the 7-pin.
And a very appreciative crowd here. Aleta said maybe one of the biggest things that's helped her this week, besides all of the confidence, is the fact that she's had a lot of family here, a lot of people. She's got some people here that came to this tournament from Europe to watch her bowl. Going a little harder and straighter at the 7 as she makes it.
Well, the tension of the perfect game is over with, and I'm sure Aleta Sill is glad for that 10-pin to go down, because she did not want a 7-10 split.
That's right. She left Dina only a little crack in the door in not striking, but Dina must strike situation right here.
And does it.
Beautiful shot. That's one of the best shots she's rolled on lane 38. Now, even though she's had a little problem on lane 37, as we watch a replay of this one, she got through the ball well, got the ball down the lane. 8-pin a little bit slow and falling, but it goes. And certainly lane 37, the better of the 2 lanes for her.
Big lead for Aleta Sill, 53 pins.
Cut to 43 with that strike.
And a double for Dina Wheeler.
So it's no time to count her out, even though Aleta's rolling the ball awfully well right now. Stranger things have happened.
Especially in our first 3 games today.
Aleta up in the 7th frame. Final match of the year. And right back in the pocket. Beautiful. It isn't like she missed the pocket on the left-hand lane last time, but she got a good break not leaving the 7-10 that was almost standing. Aleta checking the scoreboard a little, wiping the excess lane conditioner off her ball.
8th frame, Aleta Sill, a 43-pin advantage. And leaves the 7-pin again.
That time, she, I think, actually got a little more pumped up. She rolled that one a little harder. The ball went down the lane a little bit further before it broke. And the result, the 7-pin. If she makes it, however, with 3 frames remaining, she'll maintain a 43-pin advantage over Dina Wheeler. Lots of speed.
Wow,
Right.
just kicks
Not
it
to
out.
hook the ball.
I I think her heart skipped a beat right there.
I think it did too, because she now knows that Dina is lined up on both lanes, and Dina certainly answered the call in the 10th frame last game, so you know that even though this is her first television appearance, she will certainly concentrate through any other thought. Another good shot.
Will it go?
Nope, not this time. A little bit high, even though she rolled it well. Tripping out the 4, leaving the 9. Good break there to get the 2 to trip out the 4. But she was in desperate need of a strike in that situation right there. Spares up the 8th frame, down by 44 pins with 2 frames to go.
Obviously needs a strike right here.
Aleta checking the scoreboard, the handheld scoreboard that's being kept right next door. 2 300 games. She rolled a 298 this week, late in the match play, so that she could lock up a position in the finals also. And a very good shot. 10-pin won't fall. Dina has really bowled well. She was a little shaky early in this match. Left the 4, 6, 7, the big opening in the 5th frame. But she has bowled very, very well.
Think about it. Aleta Sill, as you saw by the graphic earlier, 40 TV appearances versus Dina Wheeler, her first TV appearance in the finals of the biggest tournament of the year on the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour. And
Dina missing the 10-pin, but at this point it was really a situation where it didn't make any difference. Aleta virtually has to stay behind the foul line. Makes no difference at this point. Beautiful shot. And there's the reaction from Aleta Sill. She knows she's got the title, looking back at her family and friends.
$25,000.
And a beautiful shot right there. Absolutely solid pocket with the reaction of, yeah, it's mine this year.
So for the second time in the last 3 years, Aleta Sill has come to Las Vegas and has walked away with $25,000.
And a very appreciative crowd. This is not quite the Aleta Sill we saw who won here 2 years ago. A little more pressure maybe that time because she had a lot riding on it as far as Bowler of the Year and so forth. I don't know that Aleta is going to be in the Bowler of the Year race. We have several other girls with multiple titles this year, but this certainly being a very cherished title, and she'll win the money earnings title for 1986.
She'll wind up with $35,712 in 1986 winnings, and that will be tops on the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour. Talking about Bowler of the Year competition, though, at this point, Jeannie Maiden, Lisa Wagner with 3 titles certainly have to be good bets, as well as Lori Nichols. And Aleta Sill finishes.
And you talked about the high scores weren't there. There's one of them right there, a 238. Listen to this crowd.
Never missed the pocket.
Dina's still having trouble, even though it's all over at this point.
Well, obviously, you don't see the tears, or maybe do you see the tears this year from Aleta Sill? I think the floodgates just may open. It wasn't a close match. It wasn't a close match, but certainly it's still $25,000 and winning the most prestigious tournament of the year. And Dina Wheeler, in her first ever television appearance, 172, finishes in second place with a $12,500 check. But the winner of the 1986 Sam's Town National Pro-Am is Aleta Sill, 238 to 172, $25,000. Back to the check presentation. A lot of people come to Las Vegas in hopes of winning $25,000. but very few ever win $25,000 without ever having to sit down at a blackjack table. But Aleta Sill did just that. Aleta, come on out. Congratulations. Second time in 3 years for Aleta Sill here in the winner's circle, and to present you with the trophy and your second blue suede jacket from Samstown, here's Bruce Fraser.
On behalf of Sam Boyd and the Boyd Group, you should be used to this by now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now with the presentation of the $25,000 first prize check, here's Thomas Barton from Anheuser-Busch.
On behalf of Anheuser-Busch and Dewey Stevens, I want to congratulate you.
All season long, everybody's been saying, what's happened to Aleta Sill? You're right back where you belong.
Oh, it feels great. I didn't know if I could do it again. I had a very bad year this year, but it all worked out here this year.
The 1986 winner of the Samstown National Pro-Am is Aleta Sill. The Dewey Stevens Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour Fall Tour has been brought to you by Dewey Stevens Premium Light, the wine cooler with a clean, fresh taste at 1/3 less calories. Dewey, you do me right. By Hammer, the choice of pros and amateurs worldwide. By Hammer Sportswear for men and women. And by Video Shopping Mall for the best buys and business opportunities in home shopping, now on your local cable system. This has been a production of Bud Sports.